Welcome to day 212. We're in Jeremiah, 2nd Kings, and 2nd Chronicles. Short 2 points today, but I want to actually say something else. So the whole Bible is really the theme of redemption, salvation through Christ. That's what the whole thing is about. And you can go through all these books and you see all these promises of God, and it really comes down to Christ. And the covenants that are made aren't broken. They're fulfilled through Christ. And wonderful things about all these stories. It focuses on the world through Abraham, and then through Moses we get the law, and then it's about Israel only. And then you get to Jesus, and Jesus makes it available for everybody. The law still exists, but yet we're not bound and condemned from it. We are saved. The law wasn't there to condemn us. It was there to keep us from screwing up. We are saved through the blood of Christ. So here in the reading today, we have Josiah who has been given the scroll and realizes what's happened and turns even more towards God. He's a pleasing king to God, and God spares him from the torment that's about to come. So let's hit this stuff really quickly, just 2 points. And remember, the total theme always is about redemption and hearing and seeing with our own eyes. So Jeremiah chapter 5, 21 through 23, it says, Listen, you foolish and senseless people, with eyes that do not see and ears that do not hear. So now he's talking to the people who aren't listening and aren't seeing. Have you no respect for me? Why don't you tremble in my presence? I, the Lord, define the ocean's sandy shoreline as an everlasting boundary that the waters cannot cross. The waves may toss and roar, but they can never pass the boundaries I set. But my people have stubborn and rebellious hearts. They have turned away and abandoned me. So we talk about the covenants that are being fulfilled through Christ. And from Christ, our hearts are softened, and we have to be changed, have a new renewing of our mind, and our heart has to be changed in a way that we go out to the earth and fulfill all these covenants of saving the nations. But we have to have eyes and ears to hear. In chapter 6, verse 10, to whom can I give warning? Who will listen when I speak? Their ears are closed and they cannot hear. They scorn the word of the Lord. They don't want to listen at all. We have to have a softened heart that's merciful. We have to turn our eyes and our ears, our attention towards God. We have to read and learn about these things. So let's get back to Josiah in 2 Kings 22, 14, and 20. Chapter 22, verse 14 says, So Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam, Akbar, Shaphan, and Isaiah went to the new quarter of Jerusalem to consult with the prophet Huldah. She was the wife of Shallum. So I want to point that out, that we have a woman prophet. I want to make sure that we get that. So many times I hear people say, well, it's all about men. And there's hardly any women mentioned in the Bible. There's women mentioned all over the Bible. And I want to put that out there. So Huldah was a prophet. And what she did, they found a scroll, and she sent it back to the king, and king read it. And God said, because you turned to me, I won't have the disaster any. So verse 20, so I will not send the promised disaster until after you have died and been buried in peace. You will not see the disaster I'm going to bring on the city. So they took her message back to the king. So the cool thing there, 2nd Chronicles verifies all this and actually goes into depth of the story. So you can read part of that in a little more detail in 2nd Chronicles. So there's another thing. Usually in what we're reading is almost identical between the 1st Kings, 2nd Kings, and the Chronicles books. But once in a while, we get some things that have a little more detail. And that's what sets them apart, is that it gives them credibility, that they are not identical, okay? Perfectly identical. So those sort of things are there for you. But remember, it's all about redemption. And everybody can hear and listen and turn their hearts towards God. Everybody is given a chance. So there you go. That's your day 212. I'll see you tomorrow.